In the headlines, Supreme Court to deliver judgment on presidential election appeals on Thursday. INEC removes name of former petroleum minister from candidate list for Bayelsa governorship election. Former secretary to the government of the Federation, Adamu Fika, dies at 90. And on the foreign scene, Israel to refuse visas to UN officials as at least 5 killed in raids in occupied West Bank. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. The Supreme Court has fixed Thursday, October 26, for the judgment on the appeals filed by the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, against the judgment of Presidential Election Tribunal, which upheld the election of President Bola Tinubu. Atiku and Obi asked the Apex Court to set aside the judgment by the Presidential Election Tribunal, with Atiku presenting documents from Chicago State University to prove that the president was not qualified to contest the February 25 election. The Supreme Court's Director of Information, Dr. Festus Akonde, on Wednesday said that the judgment on the appeals had been scheduled for Thursday. And now to speak on this development, at this time we have joining us live in the studio Kamal Ogundele, who is Daily Trust News Editor. Welcome to News Update.
Thank you very much.
Now, on Thursday, the Supreme Court will deliver judgment on the presidential election. What would you say, keep us abreast on the issues for determination before the Apex Court?
Well, the issues for determination before the Apex Court, in the case of the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, he formulated 35 grants of appeal for the Supreme Court for determination because he felt that the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal, which is the Presidential Election Petition Court, was laden with grave errors and gross misrepresentation, which according to him led to a miscarriage of justice. So, having been dissatisfied by the judgment of the court, he filed 35 grants of appeal for the Apex Court to determine whether the judgment at by the Presidential Election Petition Court was not a miscarriage of justice. And in arguing his case at the Apex Court, he said that the Presidential Election Petition Court was wrong in not considering its petition because he felt that he scored the majority of the lawful votes cast in the election. And the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, in its own appeal, felt that the judge was wrong in arriving, the tribunal was wrong in arriving at a decision that INEC was at liberty to determine its mode of transmitting election result. Because his own case at the tribunal was that INEC went against its promise to transmit the election result directly to the HiRef portal. So that the failure of the commission to do that led to the manipulation of election results in favor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then he also said that the president did not score 25% of the lawful vote cast at the FCT, that therefore he did not score 25%. He could not be said to have scored 25% in 2/3 of the 36 states and FCT, 36 states of the country and FCT. That FCT is an entity on its own that should be treated independently of the states. So that having not secured 25% of the vote at FCT, he could not have been said to have been validly elected as a president of the court.
Thank you so much for highlighting some of the issues ahead of tomorrow. And now all we can do is wait for tomorrow. But we all know that the judgment of the Supreme Court is final. What happens if any of the party is not satisfied with the verdict of the Supreme Court?
Well, the Apex Court is the final court of arbitration in this case. It is the final court. There is a saying by the which I've heard that the justices of the Supreme Court say several times, that if you are dissatisfied with our judgment, you can only appeal to God. So the Supreme Court is the final court in this case.
Right.
So there's no room for appeal against.
All right. Thank you so much, Kamal Ogundele, Daily Trust News Editor. Now, still in politics, ahead of November 11 governorship election, Timipre Silva, governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Bayelsa State, is facing yet another hurdle as the Independent National Electoral Commission releases amended lists of governorship candidates in the state, excluding him and his running mate, Joshua McIver. The situation has already thrown the supporters of the All Progressives Congress into anxiety, with many comparing it to the situation that prevented the party from governing the state after winning the 2019 governorship election. According to the amended list uploaded on the Commission's website on Tuesday, Silva and his running mate were excluded due to the October 10 Federal High Court order that disqualified him from participating in the state governorship election. The list, signed by the Secretary to the Commission, Rose Odiaron Anthony, had the column for the names of APC candidate and his running mate left blank with remarks, court order. Disqualifying Silva and his running mate few weeks ago, Justice Donatus Okorowo held that, having been sworn in twice and ruled for 5 years as governor of Bayelsa State, Silva would breach the 1999 Constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. But the APC Gubernatorial Campaign Council, while reacting to the election of its candidate, to the exclusion of its candidate, urged the party supporters not to be deterred. Director of Media and Publicity of the Campaign Council, Perry Tukwe, in a statement on Wednesday, said the party's lawyers were already on top of the situation to get victory at the appeal court. And now to security matters. Police in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have paraded a fake male organ disappearance victim that ignited mob action, leading to the death of the accused. The police also paraded a suspected one-chance syndicate robbing residents of their valuables, among other criminals. Noel Sampson reports that the arrests were part of the command's efforts of keeping Abuja safe for citizens.
Allegation of Mawu theft often leads to jungle justice for would-be accused. Imo Daladi was arrested by the police for faking Mawu theft. His actions allegedly led to the lynching of one Tijani Yakubu to death by irate youths. Doctors later confirmed that Emmanuel's organ was intact and not stolen as he falsely claimed.
He touched me, then I didn't see my private part. The man started deny. Before people come, they say I should pull myself. And I pull myself, quite well I didn't see my penis. So then I took her to the station. They still say I should pull up inside the station. I pull up. So the policemen, they are aware that, yes, it's true. Then I said to him, they should move up to hospital to go and do the test.
Police Commissioner Aruna Garba paraded other suspected criminals arrested by the command. Items recovered from them include stolen vehicles, mobile phones, locally made pistols, flat screen television sets, wristwatch, laptops, live cartridges, among other items.
The FCT Police Command newly created Operation Sting and also Anti-One-Chance Squad in an effort to rid the city of one-chance activities, carry out a coordinated operations and impounded 9 vehicles. Those are the vehicles we are seeing here. You can see most of them have tinted glasses.
Some of the suspects paraded speak about their involvement in the crime they are accused of committing.
I got a call from my friend. I should help him to go and draw vehicle for somewhere, and I help him go there and we draw the vehicle, park it on our compound. So after that, I hear a knock from a police, and I come out. I saw policemen, 4 policemen. They said this was the stolen vehicle. Why we get it? And I told them it is my friend called me that I should help him to go and draw the card. So they asked me about it. I took them to his residence. They arrest him.
I stole one laptop and the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the S9.
So how do you feel now?
Sir?
How do you feel now?
Sir, I'm feeling guilty conscience.
They tell us say if you finish more go. If you finish they'll call us for phone. Let them come pick up. More come pick up.
Okay, you drop the passenger for the thieves.
Yeah.
Then you come back and carry the passenger after they have robbed them.
Yes.
So how many people you don't do like that before?
Me and only 2 cases.
The FC Police Command has reaffirmed its commitment to keeping the city free from criminals. No, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And away from that, the Lagos state government has sealed the popular Alade market in the Onigbongbo local council area of Ikeja over violation of environmental laws. This was disclosed on Wednesday by the spokesman for the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Kunle Adesina, in a post on his X handle, formerly Twitter. Following the directive by the Commissioner for Environment, Tokumbo Wahab, Adesina said the enforcement was carried out on Wednesday by the officials of the Lagos State Waste Management Agency in collaboration with KAI LAGESC. Some of the affected markets include Alaba International, Mile 12, Owode Oniri, Ladipo Market, Okeodo Market, Asamda, and others. Mixed reactions have trailed the establishment of the Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund by the federal government in an effort to cushion the effect of hardship on vulnerable Nigerians. Residents of Dutse, the Jigawa state capital, say it is a welcome development if the program is far from unpatriotic and corrupt Nigerians. Trustee Viz Adamu Imam completes the report.
The federal government, through the Humanitarian Ministry, approved the fund to the tune of $5 billion after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu to address the perennial poverty throughout the country. Some Nigerians believe that if care is not taken, the program will still be a mirage to the less privileged. Now that they have initiated this move, I think with due process, it's a good one. If they had done what is right all this while, this move would have started. But because fairness is not in their calendar, and implementation is another issue as well, maybe some few individuals will continue to benefit, but not the actual beneficiaries. That's the usual occurrence in Nigeria.
30% is going to come out from federal government, and the rest of 70% is going to come out from private sectors and international donors. So this is a very wonderful program that will reduce poverty drastically in this country.
It's going to help a lot of people, and it's going to change a lot of people's life, most especially those that are less privileged. If truly the funds are going to be sharing the way it's supposed to be done, I think it will, if it's going to reach up to the less privileged, so it's a very good platform, and I believe it's going to help a lot.
He, however, pointed that previous social investment programs to address poverty did not go well with many in the country due to corruption on the part of Nigerians saddled with the task of executing them.
It's a very good platform which is going to help a lot of people, but the challenges now is the corruption. Because if there is not a good coordinator, it will not reach up to the poverty people. That is the less privileged, or to be precise. So those are the kind of challenges I think definitely they're going to face. So I expect the federal government to, find a way of tackling that aspect.
We hope that Mr. President will continue to bring new innovation and new system that will reduce poverty in this country.
According to Humanitarian Affairs Minister Beta Edu, the fund is expected to be generated annually from the government, donor agencies, the private sector, and other innovative forms of resource mobilization. She added that the governing board will supervise the implementation of the fund and involve key stakeholders that are relevant to the process. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
And now to a sad development. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Adamu Fika, has died at the age of 90 years. The elder statesman, who had been battling with a health-related challenge for some time, died mid-flight while returning from a London hospital to Kaduna late Tuesday evening. The funeral prayers for the Wazirin Fika will hold at Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna later on Wednesday. Late Adamu Fika was born in Fika, present-day Yobe State in 1933. He had an illustrious civil service career and later served as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He was also the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Arewa Consultative Forum. The Wazirin Fika began his educational journey at Kaduna Government College and the Nigerian College of Arts, Science and Technology, now Ahmadu Bello University. He held several significant positions, including permanent secretary of various federal ministries such as Internal Affairs, Commerce and Communications. He also served as the head of the Civil Service of the Federation and made invaluable contributions to the development of Nigeria. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll tell you why residents decry estimated billing. Details of this story and more to come after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that Supreme Court to deliver judgment on presidential election appeals on Thursday. INEC removes name of former petroleum minister from candidate list for Bayelsa governorship election. Moving on to other stories and now to developments in the health sector. The Taraba state government has flagged off vaccination against human papillomavirus for girls between the ages of 9 and 14 years to avert the spread of the virus. The state deputy governor, Aminu Alkali, flagged off the exercise at the State Primary Healthcare Center, Jalingo. Take a look.
Human papillomavirus, known as HPV, is the most common sexually transmitted infection, STI. It is very common, affecting more than 1.5 million people in Nigeria every year through a cut or small tear in the skin. The virus is also contacted through skin contact in the genital region. According to health experts, the HPV has no sign or symptom of the infection at the initial stage. Taraba State Deputy Governor Aminu Alkali said vaccination for the female children is free, noting that the scourge of cervical cancer remains a source of worry that requires government's attention.
It is sad to note also that this monstrous ailment is caused by the deadly human papilloma virus. But I am delighted to announce to you today that Taraba State government will from today join other states of the country in introducing the life-saving human papilloma virus vaccine to prevent our teenage girls from developing cervical cancer and other related diseases.
Health Commissioner Nuhu Tukura said the virus has been known in America since year 2006, which later spread into 10 African countries, including Nigeria, for the past 10 years.
Because this is the first time that we are having this vaccine in Nigeria. And this vaccine, Your Excellency, it is of note that it has been in existence since 2006 in the United States of America, and over 10 African countries have had this vaccine. It has been part of their routine immunization.
I want to urge all our health workers here that our capability as a country have been questioned, that we will not be able to conduct effectively this human papillomavirus campaign effectively. But I know definitely that we are capable.
We commend the government of Nigeria and Taraba State for improving the health indices of our dear citizens. To to the people of Taraba State.
Data indicates that the virus is affecting over 70 people in the state annually, but with the rollout of the vaccine, more than 17 people will be immune from the virus every year.
Away from health, some business owners and residents in Asaba, the Delta State capital, have lamented the poor distribution of prepaid meters and epileptic power supply by the Benin Electricity Distribution Company. The residents who appealed for improved power supply to ease their business operations also urged the Electricity Distribution Company to stop the estimated billing system and provide them with prepaid meters. Trust TV's Jonathan Anwanyai has more.
The electricity consumers who spoke with Trust TV decried the persistent epileptic power supply in the area, as well as the outrageous bills they are being charged.
I call it a level of exploitation, of a level of mass mentality for BDC to be talking about estimated billing. Do you know why? Now, here is a body, an organization that can't even guarantee 2 hours light in a day. Sometimes for weeks and months, you don't get light in some parts of Asaba or not Panama. That's how bad it is. Yet, at the end of the month, a group of persons who call themselves BDC staff will come and say they want to bid you. They want to read meters.
Meter and there's no light. It's just like one of the decorations you have in your houses. But if there's light, then you see that revenue will come up. Because if you buy 2,000 naira, which is normally the normal thing that most people buy, within 1 week, it's finished. The next week you buy again. And then you generate revenue. So if you don't give her these meters, you won't generate revenue. And even when you give her these meters and you don't supply the light, the same thing, it falls back to zero.
BDC in Asaba and Delta in generally, their performance is very, very poor. Most times, like transformer, when the transformer is down or faulty, they hardly do maintenance. It is the users that will contribute money.
They expressed sadness over what they described as extortion and called on the company to install the prepaid meters in their areas, which according to them are more pocket-friendly for the common man.
Since I've been posted here, I've discovered that we don't really have a power supply here. We don't really have power supply. What we have here is just occasional. It gives you occasional joy. When you see the power supply, people will rejoice. But in 5 minutes, they will take.
Prepaid meter. BDC is not doing well. Because even before you even apply for the prepaid meter, you have to go, extra mile in, applying. And
like they say, we should pay for prepaid meter. We have paid. We have not been given. Every month they will bring estimated bills. There are times they will bring 50,000 for 2 rooms. There are times they will bring 40,000, just like that.
While intensifying the clamor for prepaid meters as the only way out of their dilemma, some of them accuse the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, of extortion and unnecessary delay in supplying prepaid meter, even after payment. According to them, the only way the customers will be satisfied is when they have prepaid meters and are sure that they only pay for electricity they consume. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
From the international scene, at least 5 people have been killed by Israeli fire as the Israeli army carried out a number of overnight raids in the occupied West Bank, according to Palestinian officials. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 3 people were killed early on Wednesday in an Israel air attack on the Jenin refugee camp. 2 more young people were killed during raids in Kalkeya and Kalandia, respectively, it added. The Israeli military said on Wednesday that a group of Palestinians at the camp fired and hurled explosive devices at its forces when they were carrying out counter-terrorism activities. The West Bank has emerged as another front in Israel's war in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israel will refuse visas to United Nations officials, its ambassador to the UN has said, as the country's part with the international organization deepens. Gilad Erdan made this statement on Wednesday, according to Israeli media, as a fallout from the UN chief's speech at the Security Council the previous day continues. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres indirectly criticized Israel for ordering the evacuation of civilians from the north to the south of the Gaza Strip. He also said Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7 did not happen in a vacuum, as the Palestinians have been subjected to 50 years of suffocating occupation. Erdan said on X, formerly Twitter, that the UN chief has expressed an understanding for terrorism and murder with his speech. And in sports, the Confederation of African Football has announced a new date for the second leg of the African Football League quarterfinal match between Wydad Athletic Club of Morocco and Enyimba FC of Nigeria. The match, which was originally scheduled to take place on Wednesday, 25th October, will now be played on Thursday, 26th October at 1900 p.m. local time. The change in date comes after Enyimba FC's traveling contingent was stranded at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Monday, 23rd October, due to a delay in obtaining landing authorization from the Moroccan authorities. The team was forced to return to their hotel after spending 6 hours and 30 minutes on the aircraft. The Enyimba management condemned the delay, which they perceived as a deliberate plot by the Moroccan authorities and Wydad AC to frustrate the team. They also called on CAF to intervene in the matter and ensure that the team is able to travel to Casablanca for the second leg match. CAF has since responded to Enyimba's complaint and has announced that the match will be rescheduled for Thursday instead of Wednesday. CAF has also stated that they will investigate the matter further and take appropriate action if necessary. With that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.